Hi everyone, it's Sasha here. So, I am just going to start off with, the plugs and stuff. Everything will be linked down below on where you can find more bookish fun, book reviews, and stuff like that. I now have it set up on my Patreon where my Patreon members get these episodes 24 hours before it goes out into the universe. So, if you want to catch these a little early, that's how you can do that. But anyway, so today I wanted to talk about children's books. I tried to do an episode like this in one of my first earlier ones, and I was very nervous, and it just seemed very awkward. So I just wanted to do a little redo of it. I also will let you know that I do not edit my videos. That was one thing that was a real hindrance for me of making this podcast was me having to sit down and edit. I will not be doing that. I will probably start over completely with an episode if like there is something that goes a little awry, but overall I will not be editing these. So any pauses, any weird breathing, yawning, y'all going to be hearing it all because I don't I just don't want to edit. The moment that I get enough money to start paying somebody to do that, I will. But for right now, y'all getting it how it is. Just disclaimer for the future. Anywho, so kids' books. I am 30 years old and I still love reading kids' books. Like, I have a little kids' book collection. I do give some out to little ones that are within my family. And I even, when I feel that it is time to like let a kid's book go, I will definitely put it in a little library that is around town. But for the most part, I do have a very substantial uh, kids book collection in my personal collection. Most of them are books that are dealing with like history. Some of them are considered banned books. That's the reason they're like near and dear to me. It's like, nah, I want to keep the ones that have been banned or challenged. I definitely want to keep those in my personal collection just because I think it's funny that a kid's book is considered on the bans list. Like, um, what is the name of it? I literally just picked it up. The Hungry Hungry Caterpillar, or it's just the Very Hungry Caterpillar. I genuinely forget which one it is. For years, I genuinely thought that it was. Hold on. Okay, I had to go get it. It is the Very Hungry Caterpillar, and for years, all of my childhood, I thought it was the Very Hungry Caterpillar or the Hungry Hungry Caterpillar. I don't know why my child brain thought that, but it is not either. It is the Very Hungry Caterpillar. I don't know why that word is difficult for me. But anyway, this is considered a banned book. It is banned. It was challenged and then banned because it promoted uh basically gluttony of food. It was saying that it promotes unhealthy eating habits. It's like it's a caterpillar. That's how they get the energy they need to turn into a butterfly. Okay, you know what? Whatever. But so yeah, it's a part of my collection. It's gonna be a part of my collection, even though I'm a grown ass person that I do not plan on anytime having children. But I want to talk about how children's books can actually still help us even in our adult years. I have read so many amazing children's books that have been able to help me work through, like, some of them have helped me work through like childhood trauma. Some of them have even been able to help educate me in ways that like I didn't know I needed to be educated. Usually about like history and stuff like that. And that has been such a tremendous world to like dive in. For some strange reason, it, children's books are kind of like cartoons to people where they think that at some point you're just supposed to grow out of it. And it's like, no, you can just still like you liked it then, you can like it now. Um and not saying that for other reasons cuz somebody could easily misconstrue that. And it's like no one is promoting anything weird. I'm promoting reading books and watching cartoons. That's it. Uh so I will say that some of the books have been just so beautifully written, and I didn't have these books growing up as a kid. Like a lot of the books that were presented to me were of characters that nowhere near looked like me. These were small kids that were either white or they lived in very suburban middle class families and homes, or they were dealing with like their parents divorcing. Like that was about as risque as things got when I was growing up reading books. Was like a child's parents going through divorce. Unfortunate fact about me: my parents, who have both passed now, my mother passed away before I was one, and my father did not get the opportunity to do the single parent thing due to just some unfortunate shit that happened in both of our lives. So those things were not a reflection of me. And then the stories that had characters that looked like me were usually about slavery, or they were a caricature of black people that was the most racist shit you've ever seen in your fucking life. And so when that is what you are given, I could see why a lot of children of color would not enjoy reading, because especially back then, the characters did not represent you. And they showed you a life that you could not physically in any way achieve. Or it was a thing of if they did show something like holes. The one thing that I don't like about the movie that really upset me is that the character in Holes is plus size, and that's like a kind of a whole thing like about the character himself, and they took that aspect out when they did the movie. I don't like that because it was one of the few representations of plus size characters in a book that I read as a plus size kid. Even though it was a male character, it was still, you know, like for the most part, most kids that were plus size were seen as disgusting, gross, all these horrible fucking things. And it just made you feel that way. It made you feel disgusting and gross and stuff like that. But now, oh my goodness, the world of children's books have evolved because people that grew up like me, that didn't see these characters that looked like them, sounded like them, grew up like them, they now have the ability to make their voices heard. And we even have this wonderful, amazing world of kids writing kids' books. Like, it's usually really fucking bad. I'm not gonna lie. I wish I could. I wish I could like look at a kid's drawing and be like, "Oh, that's so beautiful," and knowing it looks like dog shit. I wouldn't say that to their faces. I'd be like, "Oh, that's amazing. How about we try? How about we keep practicing?" That's just what I feel. Lying to kids is just as bad as lying to an adult. You have to tell them the truth of when their work needs work. Because if you just lie to them and then somebody else comes along and tells them the damn truth, they're gonna be like, "Wait a minute." Now you can easily tell because I have when I was with my niece and nephew, she decided she wanted to make lemonade and all type of stuff, and I was like, you got to have a little pitch. And what she did was she was like, I'm gonna add lime to my lemonade, and I was like, oh, okay, all right, all right, all right, we can work with that. And her grandmother did not like limes. And so she was like, "Well, grandma doesn't like limes." And I just had to tell her, I was like, "Baby, you can't please everybody." Now, everybody but her grandmother enjoyed. Now, I will say that damn lemonade was bomb. And like it was actually really good. I think she also added cinnamon to it as well. Like she did, yeah. Like she really did what because I had brought her a little lemonade stand set because she was always talking about how she wanted money, and I was like, you know what? If you want some money so damn bad, you got to get out there and work. Like we ain't got money to just be handing out. I'm sorry, love. I wish we did. I wish you could just sit here and lavish and not have to lift a finger. But yo, since we ain't living like that, we finna help you out, sis. And she makes a pretty good ass lemonade. But it's just the simple fact that you know telling kids the truth of like if it's good or if it's bad, and then also telling them at the same time that just because I objectively do not enjoy it, if you enjoy it, that's all that fucking matters sometimes. And then on top of that, somebody else could very much enjoy the hell out of it, even though I don't. I'm pretty sure these kids that are out here writing kids' books, other kids enjoy the hell out that shit. I'm pretty sure. But I, as an adult that have read, countless fucking books, I'm gonna have a different eye on it. If that just makes sense. But it's the fact that kids are out there putting their work out into the universe to be judged. That's amazing. That's wonderful. I'm so glad that we live in this world that like kids that young are able to like express themselves, and it's just beautiful, man. uh Now I've read a lot of kids books, and a lot of them have helped me in a lot of different ways. And then others have just been a nice little source of entertainment. Like Mr. Brown, can you, bro? I'm gonna be honest. If you had somebody just read that motherfucking book and then put a beat over it, I feel like the bitch would slap. I'm just saying. Like I feel like it would. I feel like it would. If you think about it, you hit a rhyme and you put a nice little beat over it, bro. I'm just saying. Another kids book that I recently read was Sagwa the Chinese Siamese Cat by Amy Tan. And I'm not gonna lie, this was one that I picked for my personal book club that I have with my Patreon members. Uh, this go like with my Patreon members last year, I had it where there was a specific book that we read and we did a book discussion on. This year, I decided to do something a little different. It's a subject, a genre, and then we all just pick different books that fall under that genre. And so one of the picks that I did for this year was Sakura the Chinese Siamese Cat. And I chose it because of, Sagwa, the show. And I will say that okay, so the book is a telling about the kitten's grandmother, and the TV show is focusing on that grandmother who is Sakwa. And so it's very fun to look at that um this kid's book, and then it goes into depth about the premise of the book itself. It's a book that promotes like heritage and honoring the ones before you and your ancestors and stuff like that. It's actually a really beautiful book. uh, I and it's also, if you are one of those people that is just looking to add some diversity to your little ones libraries, I would say it's definitely one to consider adding to your little one's library. I I know that a lot of kids' books are supposed to like teach you a lesson or something like that. And I usually try to do that in my book reviews of children's books, because I know that a lot of people that read them are reading them so they can know what's in them for their little ones, and not just for themselves. Some people are reading them for themselves. I mean, hell, I am reading it for myself, so I know there's other people out there that read it for themselves. But a lot of my book reviews do help when it comes to the kids' books. Help parents and guardians of little ones, teachers, all that good stuff. Uh, to see what lessons that could be learned in this book, whether it's an emotional lesson or a science lesson, something like that. And for the most part, most kids' book, no matter what you find, you're gonna find some kind of lesson premise in it. Uh, unless it's like unless it's like a Goosebumps book, then we have just hit an entirely different category of shit. Like R.L. Stein basically said, like, these books ain't meant to teach you shit. Like, they just meant to scare you. And I love that. I love that it's like there's no premise of this. I mean, if you want to find one, you probably can. But for the most part, that man just wants to scare the hell out of some kids, and that's hilarious to me. But doing it in book format is, I don't know, genuinely funnier, because it's like the kid has to sit down and read that shit and get scared. Like when you have a TV screen in front of them, like, yeah, that shit is scary. But it's like for a kid to sit down and keep reading that damn story, even though it's scaring the shit out of them. That's funny to me. I don't know. I might just be weird. But anyway, so another child's book that I have read recently is Pete the Cat, Pete at the Beach. It's such a mouthful. It's by James Dean. Your name is hilarious. And the illustration in this is so funny and cute. Like, it's definitely one of those where it's like, I would probably get the entire collection of Pete the Cat just because the art. It's so fun. This one is about Pete going to the beach and him setting boundaries for himself, and his family, his mom and his brother are respecting those boundaries. They are encouraging him to try something a little different since he's at the beach. And it's a really good book to teach your kid about setting their own boundaries, about you as an adult respecting a child's boundaries, and when your child is ready to move out of their comfort zone, how to support that. I genuinely like that in this book. It was very cleverly done for a kid's book. I will say, and it's not a long read either. It's a very short read, but it helped me with that reminder. Is like, we all are allowed to set our boundaries, even children, and we should respect each other's boundaries. And when people are ready to try something a little different, how to properly support them, because I can't tell you how many times where, and I've been guilty of doing this too, but how many times where I say no to something, and then one day I'm like, you know what, I'll try it, and then people is like, oh, so now you want to try it? Now you want that? All that does is just make me not want to fucking do it. And a child is more than likely the same way. It's like, I haven't wanted to try it, but now I do. Instead of going that aggressive ass route, go, oh, okay, let's see if you'll like it, instead of oh, now you want to try, oh, I've been trying to have you try for years, and da, 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 da. That does not help. Like, plot twist. Another one that I enjoyed recently was the ABCs of Queer History. I checked this out a little bit, but I checked this out back in May, and it was so fun. I learned about a lot of people that I just personally didn't know about, even as a adult that is queer. And I just feel like the book really helped me understand that, like, just because I'm an adult that is aware of queer history doesn't mean I know the full story or even uh, everything. Like, a lot of these kids' books humble your ass. I think that's another reason why I do genuinely enjoy kids' books. Because, you grown and you like, oh yeah, I know a whole bunch of shit. I done lived life and all this other type of stuff. And then you run across a damn kids book that teach you shit that you didn't even know about people you didn't even know in communities that you belong to, and you just like, damn, wait a minute. What the hell do I know? Like, the shit really, really make you sit down for a second. And this one was definitely one of those that made me realize I haven't even remotely scratched the motherfucking surface about queer history. Even though I went through college, I technically have all the credits to have a gender studies minor. I just never filled out the information to, like, make it official. But yeah, I took all the credits to become a gender studies minor because I did it personally, just to because I just wanted to take the classes. And I remember we had to bring in, like, our schedule, uh, our transcripts to one of our teachers. She was a gender study. She was one of my gender studies teachers, and she was like, "Do you know that you have enough credits to be a gender studies minor? Like, you could just do it. You could sign the paperwork, and when you graduate, you'll just have that." And I was just like, "Huh, I didn't know that," and I just never did anything with it. Never did anything with that information. Would I go back? No, no. I feel like it wouldn't make a difference. I have the information. It don't matter if I got a minor in it or not. Like, but I like to make that known to people that it's like, technically I do have the credits. I just never signed the paperwork. uh, so yeah, even somebody that has like an extensive understanding of like gender studies and queer history and stuff like that, this child's book still made my ass realize that I don't really know shit. And that's wonderful to me. I'm just one of those people that love learning, and so the more I realize that I don't know something, the more it does make me want to learn about it. Even the ocean. Most people will say that, like, if you're scared of something, learn about it and then you'll become less scared of it. The ocean is not one of the motherfucking things. I can tell you that right the fuck now. I'm an ocean kid. I was an ocean kid, and an ocean adult. I love the ocean. I love everything about it. I love learning about the animals, and maritime history is one of those things where you don't really want to get me started on that one now. I say that right now. That literally has to be an entirely different episode, probably a set of episodes, if you want to get me started in maritime history. And I think that it's fascinating. I have been to the Pacific Ocean, the Atlantic. I have been to the Gulf. I have been to the Gulf of Mexico. It will forever be the Gulf of Mexico. I'm not calling it that other shit. The point blank fucking period. I have seen the Mississippi River. Fun fact: most people from Mississippi ain't seen that damn river. Like, I remember one time where this kid, he said that he went up to Chicago for the summer, and he came back down, and he was talking about like how they thought that all of us, a lot of the people up there still literally thought we were in slavery in Mississippi. Like, and it's like, I mean, what do you mean by that? But they thought that, like, apparently they thought that we all walked to the Mississippi River to like bathe. Girl, I ain't putting my damn toe in that river. But it was just like, that stuck with me, and that happened in like elementary school. That somebody really thought that all of us collectively walked to the Mississippi River to bathe because we didn't have running water. And it's like, what the hell are people's perception of Mississippi? Like, it was very scary of a thing, and it really made me not want to travel outside of my own home when I heard that as a child, because it's like, what do people think about me as soon as they hear where I'm from? And hell, I want you to understand now as an adult, that is still a thing. As soon as people hear that I'm from Mississippi or my accent comes out, which I have, when I first moved here, I didn't, I hid my accent, and then at some point I was like, I'm not doing that. Like, I'm just not doing that. There is no point in me hiding my accent. Like, go to hell. And then, but people still have pre misconceptions of, because I'm from Mississippi. Like, they automatically think that I'm anti-queer. They think that, like, they automatically think they know who I voted for, like all this other type of shit. Or they automatically know that, like, oh, I'm anti this, pro that, and it's like, you don't even know me. Like, you literally don't even know who the hell I am, and you're already making these assumptions about me just because of the state that I just so happen to be born in and grew up in. That's insane to me. Like, and I will say that I get that pretty much anywhere, but having lived out here in California, that is a entirely different conversation of, I've even had kids to like say some off the wall shit to me. Like, why, like, that's not how that word is pronounced. And it's like, you can't just snap on a child because it's a child. So, I have to sit there, take a deep breath, and be like, I was raised in a different place than you, and people that are from different places talk differently, and therefore it makes a accent. And my accent is different than your accent. You have an accent to me that you might not can hear. And having to sit there and say that to a child, and then also having adults say the same shit, and you having to sit there, because if you sit there and try to say that shit to an adult, then they're like, why are you treating me like a child? Why are you acting like one? Why are you acting like one? But anyway, so speaking of kids, back to kids books. Another one that I read that I enjoyed was, and I don't know if I'm supposed to say the whole damn thing, but this is how it's always written on these websites and stuff. But it's DK Super Reader Level 1, all about bats. And it's like, that is the most. I feel like AI generated title that you could just come up with as a human, and it's so interesting. But anyway, it's a book about bats. I read it for National Bat Day because I love bats. I can't wait to have my own home and put in bat boxes and have hummingbird feeders and all that good stuff. Like, I love bats. They're so cute and they're so fun and they're so. And I know people's like, they carry diseases. Humans carry diseases, and y'all still be wanting them motherfuckers around. So that, now what? Another one that I read. Now, I will say this: I am not a huge fantasy fan. I know, shock and appall. There are a lot of people out there that love fantasy, and I'm just, it's not my go to genre. Like, I would say that it's not my go to genre. I am this year. I am trying to get out of my genre comfort zone, so I actually have read quite a few fantasies this year, and this is one of them. It's called Tales from the Other Worlds, a middle grade fantasy anthology, and it's by a different. is by different authors. This one was provided to me by NetGalley. If you don't know what that is, it's just a website that allows you to review books before they become public, or in some cases, like you can review the book even after it has gone public. It just depends on the preference of the the publisher, because it's the publishers that are making the decisions on NetGalley. I will say this: publishers are not a fan of me because I just don't be writing reviews. And it's not due to the fact that like I don't want to. It's just life gets in the way. And I'm hoping that with my current situation of trying to actively have my bookish business taking off, that I can remedy that situation and I can write all of these awesome reviews, because I still haven't wrote a review about this one. But I will say this right now, it's amazing. It's the very first book, the very first story I personally did not enjoy, and I kind of forgot that it was an anthology, so I thought that it was just going to be that one story, and I was like gonna turn it off, and then the story ended and went to a better story, and all the stories get 100% better after that. Like, just the first one for me was just really bland. And I couldn't tell you why. Like, it was well written. It's just it just wasn't hitting for me. But every single story after that was amazing. The very last story in this, I want to bottle it the fuck up and wear it as a perfume. It was so good. It is the very last one is like peak motherfucking bedtime story. I will say that it is peak bedtime story. It is up there with Arabian Nights. Uh, I say that, but I haven't read Arabian Nights. I know the concept. I've seen so many movie and TV shows reference it, but I actually have never read Arabian Nights. I do need to do that. Now that it's been said, it's got to be done. But yeah, no, the stories in this were really good. A lot of these stories were done by people of color, and so the stories had a little bit more oomph to it, I will say, and I genuinely like that. That they were just so. A few of them taught a lesson. A lot of them didn't. They were just pure entertainment, and sometimes that's what you need, just pure entertainment. Another one that I got through NetGalley that I believe I did write a review for, uh, Sesame Street Book One, Grover Lends a Hand. Now, this was in the format of a comic book, and I deeply enjoyed that. I deeply enjoyed the format of this book. Now, it's a Sesame Street book, so of course it's about being a good friend. Grover lends a hand is talking about how to be helpful and stuff like that. Sesame Street, you're going to get a lesson out of it. Like, that's just the point of Sesame Street. And you get to meet all of your favorite friends all over again. And it's been a while since I didn't watch Sesame Street. Not gonna lie, like, it's been a hot minute. But reading this really did take me back, and like I said, the art style of it was phenomenal. Big shout out to illustrators and comic artists. Y'all are amazing. Uh, the next one that I've read this year that's a kids book was "Twas the Night Before Pride." I actually read this one back in March, because I was just really I will say that it was in the kids section of this bookstore Not bookstore, it's not a bookstore. It's a private library that's here in Sacramento. It's called the Lavender Library. You do pay to use their services there. Well, the service of checking out books, but you can just go there and hang out and stuff. They do have like Wi-Fi. One of the few goddamn places in this fucking city that has a public bathroom that's downtown. I will say that. Like, it is one of the few goddamn places here that has a. Oh my god. It is so fucking frustrating to live in a place that you cannot use the bathroom in. And it's to punish the unhoused community, but bitch, you punishing every fucking body. Like, it's quite horrible. I remember being in fucking CVS, and there was this woman that was very pregnant, like very very pregnant, and she rushed in and she was like, "Can I please use y'all's bathroom?" And they were like, "No, we don't have public bathrooms." And it's like, this woman is pregnant, like she's got a piss. Like, it was so upsetting. I promise you, if I had the money, I would just make a building that also was full of books that just had a public bathroom just so people can use it. Like, it's so goddamn frustrating not to have a bath. Anyway, the Lavender Library has a public bathroom that you can use. It is a 100% queer uh, book collection that is absolutely amazing. I have not seen a collection that large of queer uh, movies, books, comics. I have genuinely never seen that level of queerness of literature and media in one place before that wasn't my own house, and it absolutely demolishes my personal collection of how much they have there to check out and to browse and stuff. They also do amazing work by promoting artists and hosting different events for the community in whole, with a emphasis on queer folk. It's honestly a really nice place that I'm happy that I found. Uh, Another, uh, but that's where I read "Twas the Night Before Pride." I found that one in the kids area, and the book is really cute, and the illustration is gorgeous, and it's just a family getting ready for the Pride Parade, and they're basically telling the kid a bedtime story ish about why we have pride. It's a really good bedtime story. If it's another one where, if you wanted to just diversify your own library or your kids' library, it's a nice one to have, to show different kinds of families, different kinds of ways that people prepare for pride and stuff like that. This is it. I will say it's not a book that is just for Pride Month, even though it has the word pride in it. But I will say that this is one that people should genuinely just add to their personal collection, just to add some diversity. The next one is another one that I got from NetGalley, and I actually reviewed. I realized the theme here is I review a lot of the kids' books that I get off of there. So I guess I just need to stick to children's books when I go to NetGalley. I have reviewed some of like the other books that I have gotten from there, but We Are Cheesemakers by I will completely and utterly butcher this name. Na, Najat Navjat Kaur Gar. I'm just gonna spell it. N as in Nancy, A as in apple, V as in Victor, J is in jet, O is in octopus, T is in tiger is the first name, K. I will say my damn name. Oh my goodness. Okay. K as in kitchen, A is an apple, U as an umbrella, R as in road. That is the Arthur's last name. Cause the I know I fucked that up. But this is a very touching book that is about being displaced and having your world kind of flip upside the fuck down, and you having to use your traditions to make a place that isn't home home. And it's really sweet and cute, and I liked it. I unfortunately only got the opportunity to listen to the audiobook and not see the pictures because it is a picture book. So I will say that the art cover itself is phenomenal, and I hate that I didn't get a chance when I originally read it. Didn't get a chance to see all the pictures in the book. I'm pretty sure the book is out now, and I can just find it so I can actually look at the pictures, and I will probably do that. Another one that I read is Finding Rebecca. I checked this out from the public library. I couldn't even tell you why I checked this book out. I don't know why. I was scrolling through books and I don't even know what I typed in. I just typed in something. I saw this. The cover looked interesting to me. It's a black woman who has her medical bag out, and she is basically looking into the mouth of a young black child, you know, to either look at like the tonsils or something like that. And I actually found out that this book is about one of the first black female doctor in the U.S. And she nobody knows about her, and it's kind of, I didn't know about this lady, Dr. Rebecca Lee Crumpler is her name, and she is America's first black female doctor from records and memory. Uh, she it seems like she did get her degree. Uh, I'm just gonna read you honestly the little summary here from Goodreads. Uh, we should all know the name Dr. Rebecca Lee Crumpler, but you probably don't, or at least you don't yet. Finding Rebecca examines the casual disappearance of America's first female doctor from records and memory. But the search for her story, her final resting place, more than 100 years ago after her death, turned up a few murky details that Arthur Shawnee King uses to piece together a picture of the life she led, her hardships, and her many accomplishments. Young readers will discover more about this trailblazing first and help ensure that she is lost no longer. Sorry about that. That's the dyslexia kicking in. Like what I said, it's rough. Being a dyslexic book lover. But like this is an amazing story that every just genuinely everybody should know about. This woman who helped so many people that it's kind of insane that somebody that, because she went out of her way to help save black lives. She put herself at risk, and it's just amazing that she existed. And I can't explain to you how much it hurts that this lady isn't talked about or known to a wider audience of people. It's definitely one that I personally want to buy just to add to my personal collection. I am trying to move away from using Amazon. I officially ended my Amazon Prime account. It sounds stupid to like be. It feels stupid that I am kind of like disheartened and sad about it, but I am trying to move away from Amazon and supporting more uh, smaller businesses and stuff like that, especially during these crazy ass times. But so I will be trying to see if I can find this at a local bookstore, or I'm gonna purchase it through. Oh my goodness, I can't even think of the name of the freaking. What is it called? It's this little app that allows you to buy books through local bookstores and stuff. You get to choose any bookstore that you want, and if they have the book, or if they don't mind getting the book directly from the publisher and then sending it to you. Like, I rather that because that's supporting a small business than giving somebody that's already filthy rich more money. That's that's just that's just how I feel. And then I couldn't tell you if Nancy Drew is considered like a kid's book. I'm gonna. One thing that I do love about Storygraph is that it helps you with the classification of books, because Goodreads used to do that. For some strange reason, they don't anymore. So Nancy Drew uh is considered middle grade, and I mean that's it. I mean, hell, in my world, that's still a kid's book. Like, in my world, anything that's not for adults is for kids. But it is considered a middle grade book, and I want to say that basically the distinction between, of course, middle and children's book is that middle is middle school age children, while children's books are anything that's below middle school age children, for children below middle school age to consume. I want to say that's how that shit works. So we will not be talking about Nancy this go around. Disappointing. Uh, the next children's book that's on this list is Brown Bats. I told you I love bats. I absolutely love bats. They're amazing. Um, Not to be misconstrued with me liking Batman. I don't know. Uh, I'm not a fan of a lot of the quote unquote superheroes. Like, I am a huge fan of like Poison Ivy, um, Harley Quinn, give me an X-Men character. I'm game, but like I don't know. It I do like Aquaman. I think that just has more to do with the obsession with the ocean than with the actual character himself. I have read the comics, like I have read the Aquaman comics, and I feel like I'm the only person out there that enjoys Aquaman. But I don't care. I don't care. If nobody's got Aquaman, I got Aquaman. But but yeah, so it's brown bats. It was very informative about a specific breed of bats. I want to say that's how it works because yeah, it's like any animal where it's like a dog is a dog, but a chihuahua is a breed of a dog, and it's like brown bats are a breed of bat. Yeah, yeah, okay. I really had to scientific method that out right fast. Another one that I enjoyed that I feel like should genuinely be a part of. I don't know what I say. It should directly be a part of a collection, but it's definitely one that a lot of people should just read. Is I hate the titles of these. So DK Super Reader Volume One, Level One, History of Hawaii. And I absolutely found out a lot about this. I am one of those people that do not support traveling to Hawaii. I do want to support the native people and uplifting their voices and listening to them. And so your ass never catch me there. Like ain't no way. But learning about their history, their struggles, their accomplishments, you know, learning about Hawaii is one of those things where people only want to talk about the sad part. It and I mean that's honestly when you look at it, that's a lot of different. That's just a lot of non-white people. Like they want to focus on the hardship so damn bad that it's kind of like why y'all there's other shit, right? Like there's other stuff. There's like the good along with the bad and the ugly. And I wanted to learn about the culture, the people, the language. I actually have been learning Hawaii Sign Language. Um, I originally found out about it on YouTube when I was learning just regular, that sounds disrespectful as shit. When I was learning American Sign Language, and then of course that led to Black American Sign Language, and then somehow YouTube suggested Hawaii Sign Language, and I was like, you know what, fuck it, let's go. Like we're already here, might as well. And so I have actually been learning it, and it's very different from American Sign Language, of course. It's different from Black American Sign Language, but it's nice to just know. Would I ever have to use this? I don't know. I have no idea, but it's nice to have in the ye old think tank. But yeah, like if you just want to learn about Hawaii and the history, the culture, about the people that are native from there, it's definitely one that I enjoyed, and it definitely tells the truth. That's something that's so rare when you. That's another thing why I think a lot of people don't want to read children's books, but that's also it's also a contradiction to why so many children's books are banned. So many people think that like, oh, it's a kid's book, it ain't gonna have nothing in it that I already don't know, or it's just gonna be babyfied. And no, no, no. a lot of these kids' books, they tell you the fucking truth. They tell you the whole goddamn truth. And it's very eye opening, and some of it is heart wrenching, some of it is, but you gotta take the good with the bad with the ugly. And a lot of these kids books be doing that. They show you the whole motherfucking picture, and that's what I like about it. But it's kind of like that. It's that weird contradictive situation where I can only speak for my experience as being a black person, but I'm like 100% sure this happens to like basically anybody. Of that, they try to demonize you, but make you seem. They try to make it seem like you have all like magical fucking powers, but at the same time make it seem like you're helpless and useless. If that makes sense, like somehow we're capable of destroying democracy single-handedly, while at the same time it's like, well, you can't get off welfare, so like you can't even do shit for yourself. Like it's that kind of mindset. And it's kind of like that with kids books. They're like, oh well, children's books ain't got nothing in it that's important, but then why are they banning them for the information that's in them? Let's like what did the this is not one of those things where both can be true at the same damn time. Like like either the books ain't got nothing in it or they got everything. Either black people have the capability of completely taking over and destroying the US, or we don't. Like these are one this is one of the few times where two things cannot be true at once. I recently started the Boxcar Children, because when I was growing up, I was calling the Boxcar Kids. That's not correct. They are the Boxcar Children. I've yet to read book one. Like I done read so many books in this damn series. I have yet to read book one. I read book 64. Let's see. I done read. Let's see here. I read book six. I read book eight. I have read book 46. I have also read. Let's see here. I can't add it now, but I'll eventually do that. Um, yeah, like I have read all but book one, which is I don't know. That's funny to me. I will eventually read book one. Uh, well, apparently there's a book point five. I didn't know that. So it's the Boxcar Children beginning, and then the Boxcar Children, which is book one, and then Surprise Island is book two, the Yellow House Mystery book three. Uh, I will say that I believe this series is kind of like the Nancy Drew series, where the Arthur, and there's quotation marks around the word Arthur, is actually just a ghostwriter name that they have stuck to every single book, and that there are different uh, writers, ghostwriters that just write under that name. Uh, it does look like. What's funny is it does look like there are credits that are given, but every single credit that is given is to a man. Oh, of course, of course, of course, of course. A horse is a horse is a horse. Oh my goodness. Um, yeah, it looks like every credit that they they give to acknowledging that the ghost that they're the acknowledging who the ghostwriter is. It's a man. Ah, you gotta love that just underhanded misogyny. Like just it's everywhere. But yeah, so I think those are all the children's books that I read for 2025 so far. I think I even dove into last year, if I'm not mistaken, with oh wait, no, there's still quite a few that I have. Yeah, the Black Pearl mystery, which is the Boxcar Children's book 64. It was really nice. It's a mystery. I love me a mystery. And then Root Magic. Now y'all, mm, 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 mm. This was a good ass book. The audiobook was real fucking good. Scurry, but good. And the scurry part happened randomly. So these kids, it's their birthday and they're out in the woods, and just like the way that the audio was mixed, they had it like where you could kind of hear the sounds of the woods, which I love when they be doing shit like that. When the audio be extra as hell, when there's like noises and sounds and stuff. That girl, you put me in the mode, not the mood, the mode. And so it was just like all the you could or this genuinely could be my imagination. I really need to go back and listen to it, but anyway, so it was like crickets and stuff, and then all of a sudden the crickets stopped and shit, and they acknowledged, like, did the crickets just fucking stop? And there's like this pause, and then there's just this voice that whispers, "Happy birthday." Girl, when I tell you I almost pissed my damn self at work because I was listening to that shit at work. Girl, I was skirts. I was skirts. I was skirts. I was skirts. Oh my goodness. It really genuinely did terrify me. It's a good ass book. If you are from the South, this will definitely be, you can definitely feel that it's a work of love. You don't necessarily have to feel that if you are not from the South, but if you are from the South, specifically from the Carolinas, this book will definitely speak to you. Uh, and then another book that I read this year. Oh yeah, Nancy Drew and the Clue Crew, the Cinderella Ballet Mystery. This one was it was cute. All the little Nancy Drew and the Clue Crews are all so cute. And I found out that every single one of them have like a little project at the end of the book that you can do. Just you can do with just on your own, or you can do with a younger audience that you may be reading this book to, or little ones that you have. Like they all have a activity in the back of the books that you can do, and I think that that is so cute and clever, and they all pertain to like the book themselves. The other children's book that I read is Who Was Roald Dole. I God, this man's name. I butchered every time. The author they're saying is True Kelly, and you just learn about this man. He has given us so many classic bangers. And I didn't know that a lot of the kids' movies that I liked growing up were books, and then it was this man was the one that was usually making them. I have not read Matilda. I do not plan on reading Matilda. It is one of the few books in this world that I have personally said I'm good. Like I don't, that's just a personal. I will not be reading Matilda. Uh, if I do, y'all, everyone will know. Everyone will know when I actively read Matilda. Matilda, I would probably say that if I do read it, it will be on Twitch. Like it will be a part of my Twitch stream of my silent reading sessions. That is the only way that I would probably remotely read that book. But he did fantastic Mr. Fox, uh, BFG, Big Friendly Giant is what that stands for. Of course, he did Matilda. He did James and the Giant Peach. He has done a lot of book books that have been turned into movies, and I am a huge fan of the fantastical Mr. Fox movie. Like, it's really fucking good. The book, I feel like the aspects that they took out of the movie just didn't even make sense. I feel like they could have kept everything in the movie. Like the movie was perfectly fine, but I just don't know why they made his family like 100% smaller. Like because they had multiple kids. Um, it, if you if you don't know, kits is what a baby fox is called. I want to say that's correct. I could genuinely be just fucking around, but I want to say that the baby fox is called a kid. But yeah, like that's the only thing that just didn't really make sense to me why they changed that aspect of it. But outside of that, I still actually really like the fucking movie, even though I've already read the book and they kind of don't see eye to eye like that. But I don't care. James and the Giant Peach, we were robbed. Movie wise, we were robbed. We were fucking robbed. I will say that we were robbed. We were robbed. We don't get to see the cloud people in the movie, and we were robbed. That's all I have to say. 100% robbed. The next one that I read this year is Crowned. Magical folk and fairy tales from the diaspora. Girl, when I say this was really good. This was so good. It's just it's black fairy tales that it's fairy tales. It's classic fairy tales that are told by black people and our twist on it in different ways. And I feel like this and the children's anthology, the Other Worlds one, like if you if your child is really into like fantasy and stuff like that, I really don't care what color your damn child is. Those two are definitely ones to bring it to your house. One, it does if you are not black, it brings diversity into your house. If you are black, it definitely uh, makes your child feel seen as a black individual. It is so, it is so good. The I would say my favorite one of this is Hansel and the version of Hansel and Gretel, because I could see that shit really playing out in my head when I was listening to the book, because I listened to the audio version, and that shit, girl, yeah, no, it was really fucking good. I don't feel like I feel like Inkheart is a middle grade book. I feel like that is correct information that I'm telling myself. Yes, it is a middle grade book. And then I think that is all of the, yeah, those are all the kids books that I have read in 2025 so far. I definitely have enjoyed a lot of them, and the other ones I have talked about previously in another podcast episode. One is Amani at the Beach. The other one that I didn't talk about that I have read after that episode has been recorded is Scooby Doo and the Kitty Cat Caper. It's just a cute little short book. I saw it when I was at the library, and I was just like, I picked it up, I read it. It was like a for me, it was probably like a 7-10 minute read, but in reality, for people that don't have like learning disability, it's probably like a 5 minute read. And it was just cute. It was just fun, and it's just Shaggy, Scooby, and the gang just doing what they do, and I enjoyed it. It has a little fun ending. Yesterday I did reread Welcome to Dead House because I had to redo the book review that I did for that one. And yeah, I redid my review for it and re-listened to it while I was actively working on the review, just so I could have everything super fresh in my head while I worked on it. And it when I tell you, child me would have been hooked immediately, and then like adult me now is like, this is it's okay, but it does give you nostalgia. So like, if you just want that nostalgia rush, I genuinely do suggest go back and reading children's books that you enjoyed when you were younger, and just seeing how your mind has changed all these years. Because like there are books that I read when I was like 25, and or yeah, when I was like 25, 24, that I've now recently read as, a fresh new, well, fresh. I'm half. I didn't been 30 for a solid 6 months now. But um yeah, like it's one of those things where like going back and reading some of your childhood favorites, uh you for me at least, and I'm hoping for others, what it will show is your growth, your understanding of the world, your growth in like comprehension, and like your taste, like how your tastes have changed over time. Because like I was in love with the Goosebumps series when I was younger. It was my gateway uh, series to becoming a book lover, and that was back in 2005, um, which was 20 years ago. Yeah, and so a lot has changed in 20 years. Like a lot has changed in 20 years. And so going back and rereading, childhood faves, and just realizing that like, wow. The shit that used to scare me when I was younger is kind of laughable now, but also you have your mind has changed from like a child to an adult. So now you have the perception of the adults in those situations versus the kids, and because you have been a child before, you have the perception of both the parent and the child. And so you get to see how life has changed, and then you also get to see the language of the books, how books have changed over time. That's another thing that I really like about children's books, because I love reading like older children's books, sometimes super older children's books. A lot of those classic ones, like the, what is it called, the Mother Goose. A lot of them have like some very racist caricatures and stuff like that. And then you read like a modern day kids book, and you're just like, these are worlds apart. Like these are fucking worlds apart. And that's like the compare and contrast to that is fun for me. The compare and contrast of the language back then and the language of the day is also fun for me. Uh, specifically when it comes to like comparing and contrasting children's books. The themes and the topics, a lot of the themes and topics actually don't change, but they are morphed into like a retelling that is very interesting to like see the same, see the different sides of the same coin. That's what I'm trying to say. Like it's fun. It's just fun. So yeah, I hope that at the end of this, I have sold you on picking up a kid's book and reading it for your own entertainment, and maybe even giving you a nudge into picking up some old kids books and like some of your childhood favorites and rereading them. And it's okay not to like something that you liked before. It's perfectly fine to have evolved. And like I find that personally just fun to be like to go back and read something that I read when I was younger, and realizing now that like, oh my god, my taste was terrible. I hope that I have bettered myself since then. And so yeah, like I really hope that that is what y'all got from this. Thank y'all so much for listening. Again, if you want to support this channel, this podcast, there will be links below on how to do so. And I hope y'all have a great rest of y'all's day. Bye, y'all.